This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Hello, Quizheads. Welcome to Takeaway Trivia, episode number 248. I'm Leon, your quizmaster from Hereford, UK, and this is another 4 rounds of pub quiz in a podcast. Before we dive into those 4 rounds, let's take a look at a few hellos. If you want to skip those, time codes are in the show notes. An update from last week to begin with. Angela Arnott mentioned the Pink Angels, who were off to the national cheer competition. How did they do? That's the all-important question. They came third in all of Australia. Well done, Pink Angels. Leah Murphy, out for a walk in Killarney, listening to the podcast, says, "Can you say hi to my wife Mag and a happy birthday to myself on the 20th? Happy birthday, Liam." Tiffany Sims says, "Shout out for my lovely husband, Toby. We listen on long car journeys. Please wish him a very Merry Christmas, his first as a father, to our boy Theo." Thanks for that. Hello, Toby, and thank you for getting in touch, Tiffany. Hang on a minute. This next one's a bit familiar. Toby Sims says, "Would it be possible to have a shout out to my wife Tiffany and to my 9-month-old son Theo? We've been listening on our long drives between Lincoln and Lancashire and from Lincoln to Essex, and your voice is probably the third most heard voice Theo listens to." That's from Toby Sims, wishing his wife Tiffany a happy birthday. I think there's a link between those two. I don't know. And finally, Heather Dunlop says, "Shout out to my cousin Danielle. We always listen to Tapped every week. I just want to tell her she's my best friend in the whole world and she means everything to me. Thank you." That's Heather from Tamworth. All right then, coming up on the show today, we've got the Final Fling. There's a round of Clued Up. We've also got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But let's start with your general knowledge. Good luck. Okay then, Quizheads, are you ready? If not, grab a cup of tea, grab some biscuits, and then return to this podcast because we're about to have question number 1. And question number 1, in which year was the first Sonic the Hedgehog game published by Sega? Number 1, in which year was the first Sonic the Hedgehog game published by Sega? Number 2, John Cadbury, founder of Cadbury Chocolate, was famously a member of which Christian movement? Question 2, John Cadbury, founder of Cadbury's Chocolate, was famously a member of which Christian movement? Number 3, the Brecon Beacons are in which country? Question 3, the Brecon Beacons are found in which country? Number 4, how old was President JFK when he died? Number 4, how old was President JFK when he died? Number 5, which metal is the best conductor of electricity? Is it silver or copper? Number 5, which metal is the best conductor of electricity? Silver or copper? Number 6, the Oscar-winning film Argo was largely set in which Middle Eastern country? Number 6, the Oscar-winning film Argo was largely set in which Middle Eastern country? Number 7, the European Court of Justice is based in which country? Question 7 on your general knowledge this week. The European Court of Justice is based in which country? Number 8, which county plays its home cricket matches at the Rose Bowl in the UK? Number 8, which county plays its home cricket matches at the Rose Bowl? I've said in the UK, I'll tell you what, it's in England. There's a bigger clue. So number 8, which county plays its home cricket matches at the Rose Bowl? Number 9, which country was home to the first European McDonald's? Was it the Netherlands or Sweden? Number 9, in which country was the first European McDonald's? Netherlands or Sweden? Another McDonald's question coming your way a little later on. Question number 10, what is the last book of the Bible? Number 10, what is the last book of the Bible? And that's your 10 questions on general knowledge. Hope it's a good, strong start for you this week. Let's move on to round number 2. This week for round 2, question number 1 is worth 5 points. Question 2 is for 4 points. 3 is worth 3 points. Question 4 is for 2 points. And question 5 is worth just 1 point. That is why I call it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 1. Which 5 countries contain the most forest by area? Question number 1. Which 5 countries contain the most forest by area? This data is from 2020, so fairly up to date. And obviously that's 5 points up for grabs in that question, so please feel free to pause the podcast while you come up with your 5 answers. And then when you're ready, let's move on to question number 4. For 4 points, I promised you more McDonald's, didn't I? Name the 4 countries in the world with the most McDonald's. Question number 2, name the 4 countries with the most McDonald's in the world. This data is from McDonald's corporate data from December the 31st, 2023, so barely a year old. Number 3, who were the 3 members of the legendary Apollo 11 crew, the first astronauts to set foot on the moon? Number 3, who were the 3 members of the legendary Apollo 11 crew? And number 4, according to BBC Focus magazine, which 2 mammals, I should say, sleep 20 or more hours a day? So number 4, according to BBC Focus magazine, which 2 mammals sleep 20 or more hours a day? In my teenage years, I was up there. I could quite easily stay in bed most of the day. Number 5, false or true, Australia is slightly wider than the moon. Question number 5, false or true, Australia is slightly wider than the moon. And that's it. That's your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15 points up for grabs in that round. So try and add as many answers as you can, particularly to questions number 1 and 2. Back to general knowledge for your answers to that round. Number 1, in which year was the first Sonic the Hedgehog game published by Sega? 1991. That was one of my favourite Christmases, the year I got a Sega Mega Drive. I played Sonic the Hedgehog to death. I absolutely loved it. And yes, I will be going to see Sonic 3 probably next week. Number 2, John Cadbury, founder of Cadbury Chocolate, was famously a member of which Christian movement? The Quakers. Number 3, the Brecon Beacons are in which country? Wales. And the Welsh Government is now promoting them under their Welsh name. I am not going to insult Welsh listeners by even attempting to pronounce that. Number 4, how old was JFK when he died? 46. Number 5, which metal is the best conductor of electricity? Silver or copper? It's silver. Number 6, the Oscar-winning film Argo was largely set in which Middle Eastern country? Iran. Number 7, the European Court of Justice is based in which country? Luxembourg. Number 8, which county plays its home cricket matches at the Rose Bowl? Hampshire. Number 9, in which country was the first European McDonald's? That was the Netherlands in 1971. And number 10, what is the last book of the Bible? Revelation. Alright then, we continue on to round number 3 now. It's the return of Clued Up. I'm going to give you 5 clues to the identity of a mystery famous. All you have to do is work out who it is and name them as quick as you can. If you do it on clue number 1, you get yourself 10 points. Clue number 2 is worth 8 points, and we continue playing until clue number 5, which is worth just 2 points. Now, obviously, this round relies on you being honest about when you correctly guess the identity of this celebrity. Don't cheat, you're just cheating yourself. Clue number 1 then for 10 points. I was born in Solihull in the UK in 1969. I'm the grandson of workers in the Birmingham car industry or automobile industry. In the mid-1980s, I moved with my family to the North Yorkshire city of Ripon. So question number 1. I was born in Solihull in 1969 and I am the grandson of workers from the Birmingham automobile industry or car industry. In the mid-1980s, I moved with my family to the North Yorkshire city of Ripon. Who am I? Clue number 2 then, for 8 points. From 1987 to 1989, I attended the Harrogate College of Art and Technology. After my graduation, I worked for several northern radio stations. Clue number 2 for 8 points. From 1987 to 1989, I attended the Harrogate College of Art and Technology. After my graduation, I worked for several radio stations in the north of England. Who am I? Clue number 3. In the 2000s, I moved to television. As a dog lover, I was proud to host Crufts, but I also used my love of science on the TV show Brainiac. Recently, I have documented the running of my classic car restoration business, The Smallest Cog. Who am I? Question number 3. In the 2000s, I moved to television. As the dog lover, I was proud to host Crufts, but also used my love of science on the TV show Brainiac. Recently, I have documented the running of my classic car restoration business, The Smallest Cog. The Smallest Cog is literally 20 minutes walk from where I'm sat right now, here in beautiful, beautiful Hereford. Number 4. In 2006, I was involved in the fastest crash in Britain when the tyre burst on the vampire car in which I was travelling in at 288 miles per hour. Clue number 4. In 2006, I was involved in the fastest crash in Britain when the tyre burst on the vampire car in which I was travelling in at 288 miles per hour. Finally then, clue number 5. This is for 2 points if you haven't already got it. I'm affectionately known by my co-hosts on Top Gear and the Grand Tour as the Hamster. Who am I? Clue number 5. I'm known affectionately by my co-hosts on Top Gear and the Grand Tour as the Hamster. Who am I? There you go, that's your 5 clues to the identity of a mystery famous. Hope you've worked it out. We'll find out who they are along with answers to round number 2 after this quick break.
For over 50 years, Burlington's legacy has been great deals on coats for all weather conditions. So before you're caught unprepared for the winter weather, head to Burlington for name brands, quality items, and surprising fits for every family member. Stock up on coats, sweaters, and accessories before the cold hits, so you can finally stop avoiding the elements and start living comfortably. Warm up at your nearest Burlington location less than 1 mile away. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit Shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Right then, welcome back to Takeaway Trivia. It is time for a double dose of your answers. Let's start with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 1 was, which 5 countries contain the most forest by area? At number 1, it's Russia. 2 is Brazil. 3 is Canada. 4 is the United States of America. And at 5, China. Number 2, name the 4 countries with the most McDonald's in the world. Of course, the USA is top of the list with 13,449 Mackie D's. Second place, I didn't expect it, is China with 5,903. Japan is in third with 2,982. And in fourth place, considering they're renowned for having amazing food, it's France at 1,559 Mackie D's. I'm not saying, by the way, that Mackie D's isn't amazing food. There's a time and a place for it. I know some people knock it. I quite like a McRib now and then, but I just wouldn't expect France to have that many when it's got so many incredible restaurants. Anyway, There you go. Number 3. Who were the 3 members of the legendary Apollo 11 crew? Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. Question 4. Which 2 mammals sleep 20 or more hours a day? The koala bear and a sloth. And 5. False or true? Australia is slightly wider than the moon. That is true. Back to Clued Up then, we were talking about a person that was born in 1969, the grandson of workers of the car industry in Birmingham, studied at Harrogate College of Art and Technology, presented TV shows such as Brainiac, Crufts, and The Workshop, documenting their car restoration business, The Smallest Cog, someone that was tragically involved in a massive car crash but did make a full recovery, and they're known as the Hamster. Who was it we were looking for? It is, of course, Richard Hammond. I've yet to see him around and about Hereford. Obviously, his business is based here, and he does travel on a road up and down to sort of Ross that we often travel on. I have seen the Smallest Cog vans travelling around the city, but never him driving them. And the radio station I also work for, called Sunshine Radio, we have interviewed the Smallest Cog guys on there and promoted a recruitment drive that they had in the most recent series. But no, I've never actually seen the Hamster. There we go. Okay, then that's us up to date with answers. It's time to move on to the Final Fling. And here we are then at the final round of this week's Takeaway Trivia. It's the Final Fling. 15 questions of general knowledge, slightly harder than previous questions. Are you ready? Question number 1. The Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen starred as the villain in which 2006 James Bond film? Question number 1. The Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen starred as the villain in which 2006 James Bond film? Number 2. What do you do if you suffer from somniloquence? Number 2. What do you do if you suffer from somniloquence? Number 3. Which Italian car manufacturer made the Strada? Question 3. Which Italian car manufacturer made the Strada? Number 4. What type of stone is the Blarney Stone made from? Question 4 on your Final Fling this week. What type of stone is the Blarney Stone made from? Number 5. What type of weapon is the Scottish Claymore? Question number 5. What type of weapon is the Scottish Claymore? Number 6. Fred Quimby was the producer of which legendary cartoon series? Number 6. Fred Quimby was the producer of which legendary cartoon series? Number 7. What is the name of the hand targets worn by boxing trainers? Question 7. What is the name of the hand targets worn by boxing trainers? Question 8. Who is the only professional dancer to have taken part in every series of Strictly Come Dancing here in the UK? Not necessarily as a dancer, though. Number 8. Who is the only professional dancer who has taken part in every series of Strictly Come Dancing? Number 9. Garamond, Baskerville and Bodoni are all examples of what? Number 9. Garamond, Baskerville and Bodoni, that's Bodoni, are all examples of what? Question number 10. What colour is a polar bear's skin? Obviously their fur is kind of white or cream, isn't it? But what colour's their skin? Number 10. What colour is a polar bear's skin? Question number 11. Pastrami is usually made from which meat? Number 11. Pastrami is usually made from which meat? Number 12. What colour was the owl and the pussycat's boat? Question number 12. In the nursery rhyme, what colour was the owl and the pussycat's boat? Question number 13. Max Verstappen won the 2024 World Drivers' Championship recently. How many world titles does he now have as of December 2024? So question 13. Max Verstappen won the 2024 World Drivers' Championship in Formula 1 recently. How many world titles does he now have as of December 2024? Number 14. In The Lord of the Rings, how is the character Peregrine Took better known? Question 14. In The Lord of the Rings, how is the character Peregrine Took better known? Number 15. Which line of toys originally launched in the 1990s includes characters such as Tiny Tina, Midge, Little Lulu and Titch? Number 15. Which line of toys originally launched in the 1990s include characters such as Tiny Tina, Midge, Little Lulu and Titch? And there you go, that's your 15 questions on the Final Fling. Take a look back through your answers. Try and add some answers in where you can. If you're missing a few, maximise those scores. And we'll be back to let you know how you've done after this quick break.
Looking for a pickup truck to get just about anything done? Look no further. The Chevy Silverado EV isn't just the most powerful Silverado ever, with next-level towing capability and technology. It also offers game-changing versatility with the available multi-flex midgate and tailgate, which means Silverado EV helps you carry large, bulky, and oddly shaped items up to nearly 11 feet in length. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Visit Chevrolet.com to learn more.
Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs fragrances this holiday season. From the iconic Daisy and Perfect to the all-new Daisy Wild, Marc Jacobs perfume gift sets include everything she needs to feel special. From her favorite fragrance, plus the matching travel spray. Holiday gifts don't get much more perfect than this. So if you're looking for a gift inspiration these holidays, gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs.
Welcome back to Takeaway Trivia. It's time to find out your answers for the Final Fling. Number 1, the Danish actor Mads Mikkelsen starred as the villain in which 2006 James Bond film Casino Royale? Number 2, what do you do if you suffer from somniloquence? You talk in your sleep. Number 3, which Italian car manufacturer made the Strada, Fiat? 4, what is the type of stone that the Blarney Stone is made from? Limestone. Number 5, what type of weapon is the Scottish Claymore? It's a sword, it's the one that's large and basically needs 2 hands to operate. Operate, that's the wrong word, isn't it? To use, I guess. Number 6, Fred Quimby was the producer of which legendary cartoon series? One of the greatest cartoon series ever made, Tom and Jerry. I love them. Number 7, what is the name of the hand targets worn by boxing trainers? Focus mitts. Number 8, who is the only professional dancer to have taken part in every series of Strictly Come Dancing? Not necessarily as a dancer, for instance, he's now a judge. Anton Dubek. Number 9, Garamond, Baskerville and Bodoni are all examples of what they are typefaces or fonts. Are you like me when you start up like a new Word document? However long it takes you to type up, you spend like twice as long deciding which font you're going to use. I'm a little obsessed. It's got to look nice. Number 10, what colour is a polar bear's skin? It's black. Number 11, pastrami is usually made from which meat? Beef. Number 12, what colour was the owl and the pussycat's boat? Green. Number 13, Max Verstappen won the 2024 World Drivers' Championship recently. How many world titles does he now have? 4. Number 14, in The Lord of the Rings, how is the character Peregrine Took better known? Pippin. And number 15, which line of toys include characters such as Tiny Tina, Midge, Little Lulu and Titch? That is Polly Pocket. There's a bit of nostalgia for you. Okay, hope you've enjoyed Takeaway Trivia this week. It's been a pleasure to be your quizmaster. Don't forget to follow us wherever you get your podcasts from, so you get a brand new, fresh episode of Takeaway Trivia delivered to you every Monday. We are on YouTube now. Feel free to like and subscribe to us on there. Obviously help us boost our numbers. But I will let you know, in general, the YouTube channel is about 2 weeks behind. I like to drop the quiz on the podcast channels first. Before I go, I'll leave you with one final tat fact. Did you know that beavers don't actually live in dams? They like to live in a lodge that they build behind the dam within a deep pool of water. Okay, quiz heads, that's enough trivia for 1 week. We will be back next Monday. Have a great week. Have a safe week. And we will quiz again soon. Take care. I hope you're enjoying Takeaway Trivia. Don't forget, we're now available wherever you get your podcasts, so please subscribe, rate and review to help this quiz grow. Also, if there's anything you would like to be tested on, any subjects you'd like to hear in the quiz, please get in touch. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/takeawaytrivia or on Threads at Bar Wars. Finally, we're also available on YouTube, youtube.com/@takeawaytrivia. Happy quizzing! The intro music is There It Is by Kevin MacLeod, available from incompetech.filmmusic.io, licensed by creativecommons.org.